to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George.
Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today we conclude our first series of live commentaries on the Star Wars original trilogy with Return of the Jedi, and I am so very excited to talk over this movie. So if you would, go ahead and get it pulled up on Disney Plus or on DVD or wherever you might have it, and scroll that the thingy, the queue back to 00000 and press play with us whenever we get rolling. You know, if you don't have access to it, that's fine. We should have a good enough conversation to where you won't need to, but it can only be better if you're watching Star Wars. You know, like anything's better when you're watching Star Wars. So let's go ahead and we'll get into it. But I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. Are you ready to talk Return of the Jedi, my friend?
Oh, it's been long awaited, and we're finally getting to it. One of my longtime favorites, that's for sure.
Oh,
so
man.
it's I can't wait to get into it.
Then let's fucking do it. So what I'm going to do is count us in from 3. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, punch it, and on punch it, as Han does to Chewie, we're going to go ahead and hit the hyperdrive. We're going to press play, and we are going to be watching Return of the Jedi together. So if you are ready, get the remote in hand, and I will count us in.
Remote is in hand.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, punch it. And we are off. Man, I'll never grow tired of this movie, man. It's just one of those ones that I've regarded it for a lot of my life as my favorite Star Wars movie. I think Empire has kind of reached a different echelon for me the more into movies I've generally gotten. But the feeling this one gives me, god damn, is there nothing that really comes close?
No, it's out of the original. It's been my favorite for as long as I can remember. This was just as a kid. This was the coolest Luke has ever been. This is the
Right.
Luke I wanted to be. Luke with the green lightsaber, or black robes Luke. I don't know. We had a different ways of naming him, but no. This was. It was, I don't know. This was the one I always gravitated to. The just escaping Jabba, and that whole the Sarlacc pit. All of that is, and I feel like this just had the most maybe memorable childhood moments, like just the Rancor. Maybe it's just like the scary, like we with Empire, we said how the Yeti at the beginning was just so horror fueling and just scary that it's cinched into our brains forever. And I feel like the Rancor is kind of like that with this one. And I don't know, it's always been my favorite. But I guess I've watched it last night in preparation for this, and I think I realized that it's maybe more adept for my childhood brain, but
Right.
I still love it. I don't know. It's still up there.
Oh no, I do too. But yeah, there's something that I don't know. It's not something you have to accept by any stretch of the imagination. But there's something that I've come to realize about my movie taste. And the way that I perceive movies in terms of quality. And Return of the Jedi, frankly, is probably the least impressive of the first 3 movies in terms, and just all around how well it's done, especially since we're privy to the special editions. You know, like visual effects across the board in the original trilogy are just good, you know, because we've never seen it not be. And Richard Marquand was kind of the director of this movie, was pretty much a George Lucas yes man proxy. The reason he hired Richard Marquand to do this movie was because Irvin Kershner gave him too much pushback on Empire Strikes Back. on Empire, Irvin Kershner ended up making a movie that he wanted to make, not the movie George Lucas wanted to make. And even though it was critically well received and everything, it wasn't what George Lucas wanted it to be. So he brought on Richard Marquand here to basically do whatever George Lucas wanted. It's been said that Richard Marquand's just kind of the name, while George Lucas actually directed this movie.
Yeah, we could have used a little bit more of that pushback, because after watching Empire, I guess my watches were luckily really close together. The difference is just so apparent. Like going from Empire to here, it's like every shot in Empire is just set up so well. It's lit so perfectly, and like it just looks so good. And here I think it's good for sci-fi. Like it's good. Oh yeah, for,
it's pulpy. It's serial. There's something cool about it. Don't get me wrong. It's by no means a bad movie. It's just that when you are following up what is, to me, one of the best movies ever, you're gonna have a tough time. That's just kind of how it is. But I have always loved the way Vader's helmet looks in Return of the Jedi. It's far and away the like cleanest and the shiniest I think we've ever seen him, and it looks fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I do like about Return is more than any others, is that Vader he's an actual like character, like there's a lot of substance to Vader here, rather than just kind of being the enforcer and big, the guy in the costume, the bad guy, just the I don't know, just the look. And James Earl Jones, I feel like it's a really good chance to just do what he does very well, and while behind a mask, still give a character. I don't know, give a whole performance behind it, and well, man.
And even so, like it's impressive the way that the people in the suit and James Earl Jones, because I'm pretty sure it's David Prowse by now that is in the costume. Like the fact that there's such a, I don't know, a perfect melding of those two. There doesn't feel like a disconnect, and it reminds me a lot of Pedro Pascal and the combination of Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder, and all the gentlemen who get in the Mandalorian costume. Because in the first two seasons, it was like really, really strong, but then we noticed in season 3 that there became this disconnect. There started to be this thing where we were like, it feels like this guy isn't on set or even watching what he's voicing, you know what I'm saying? Whereas with these, there's a seamlessness to it that there's no doubt about. God, I've always loved the iDroid here. That's one of my favorite little doohickeys in all of Star Wars is that guy right there.
Yeah, is it a droid itself, or is someone like operating it and looking through it like a camera? I've always
it's always been I think it's supposed to emulate that for the real world, but because it is Star Wars, it just is alive.
Okay, because it does have like a personality. It is kind of like it laughs at him and all that. So I don't know if it is just a droid that just lives in that little hole forever. I feel like he would get pretty cranky over time.
Yeah.
But man,
I do love Jabba's palace, man, and this layout. I love that spider thing in the background there. The monk. It's like a monk's head in there or something. that like a monk's essence
alive.
Yeah.
And I feel like one popped up in Book of Boba Fett maybe or something like that, and I feel like that's where I heard about it for the first time.
We went with that for a while. Yeah, I remember when we were theorizing about what the
what
was going on
was
when we came to those. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy how wild I did used to go down the theory rabbit hole.
We had some fun there. God, Bib Fortuna is an ugly motherfucker. Look at that guy. His eyes are like that.
Man,
like almost a fleshy pink. It's disgusting.
Does he choose to have his like head tentacle go around like that, or is it like just stuck in that position forever? Or like
I'm not sure.
Is it a style?
I imagine that's a style choice. Because we know what Twi'leks look like. Like the fact that that's a, and this is. I saw a tweet the other day that was like, why did the dude Twi'leks get the bad end of the stick so often? Because we've mostly seen just like ugly ass Twi'lek dudes, save for a few in like Book of Boba Fett and Cham Syndulla, Hera's dad and stuff. But and all the women Twi'leks are like so fucking fine. So it's like, what happened here? What's the disconnect?
Yeah.
Not to mention, we didn't bring up the Gamorrean guards or now Jabba the Hutt here. Just like in terms of prosthetic design and puppetry and all of that, this is probably the superior film of the original trilogy. Like even considering the cantina in the first one, like I feel like Jabba's palace just has a grime to it that really, really works.
Oh yeah, this is just it's a whole different walk of life than the cantina. Like everyone in the cantina, I guess they were all just scoundrels, whatever, and there was a crazy different alien everywhere you look. But these, I don't know, Jabba's palace it's like it's the outer. It's not the Republic. They're not really. They don't care
Granted,
about
it is
what's going
Tatooine
on.
also, you know, like but the thing is that everybody that's like in the cantina wants to be here. This is where they aspire to, you know what I'm saying? Like this is, if they could level up, this is where they would go, you know? God, the Kowakian monkey lizard, that little motherfucker.
Yeah, it's all he gets to do. He just gets to let out his laugh, and then I guess, does he die? Well, I guess the whole ship goes, so yeah, he does.
He probably goes down with it.
Goes down in there, but I just remember him jumping up and holding on to the roof or the ceiling for a little bit. It's kind of the only thing he does, but man, no, Luke here, he is mighty confident. I love that, you know, I mean, after you do blow up a Death Star and then like you are told that you start your Jedi training, all this stuff. I feel like the ego would inflate or get quite big.
Yeah,
but,
a little bit, and I think it does. I think that what's fun about this movie is that, you know, we've grown up knowing Luke is the good guy. You know, we know he's not Breaking Bad. We know he's not going to go dark. But this movie does its best to tease that, coming off of the end of Empire, where you know, we learn that he's Vader's son, and when he comes on screen, he's wearing all black, and you know, there is this element to him. Yeah, he force chokes somebody. So like, yeah, so there is a little bit, and we see him be like, "You can have C-3PO and R2-D2." You know, like I'm done caring about them. Essentially, you know, obviously that's a ploy, it's an act, but you got to think in the theater in '83 that maybe it was a little bit like, "Oh, what's going on here? What's different about Luke? What happened?" That's why, like, I've heard one of the, I would never do this, but one of the fun ways to show people who are completely unfamiliar with Star Wars. No, don't do that to the Gonk droid, bro. That's so fucked. That's so fucked.
I mean,
but
I don't even know how droids work, but that's just gotta suck, you know. I don't
like, you're programming them to experience pain so you can do this, which is a whole other fucked up thing. But a fun way to show people the movies, if they know absolutely nothing about Star Wars, like if they know nothing, would be 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. Where after Vader has gone, you know, I am your father. And there's still questions, like he's mostly like, I don't know, is it true? And then you get the whole story of how Luke comes to be via Anakin's fall to the dark side, and then it makes Luke's potential fall all the more real for you, you know. And I think that's an interesting method. I wouldn't personally do it. I'm too much of a homer for the release order, but I can't blame anybody for trying to get creative with it.
Yeah, and I've always heard of, you know, either just going in release order or chronological order. Yeah, however you want to do that. But that's I never thought about switching up the order depending on like how you want to view the story. That is really cool, because I finally just went to chronological order. That's the watch I'm currently on right now, and I've always done release order. I feel like that it's just the most natural. Like there's the prequels. I mean, there's some stuff in Star Wars that doesn't necessarily like line up with the prequels. Like I don't like Qui-Gon's never mentioned, and it's always assumed that Obi-Wan was trained by Yoda,
Right,
like
right.
that, and then Obi-Wan not know or like seemingly not knowing of R2. Like, there's just certain things that are like small that don't matter, but like they just couldn't have even thought of before making the prequels. I guess George would have been the only one that could have been maybe putting in little Easter eggs and stuff. But I feel like just release order just makes just the most sense. It's
That makes
just
the
what
most
Star Wars
sense.
is
Yeah.
at its time, and how it's grown. But that's why I don't know why I'm so eager to get to the sequels now, is that I think I'm already firm that I will enjoy the sequels far more than the prequels now, which is a crazy statement for me. Like, in just I don't like I would have never thought that I
Mm.
would be saying that the prequels is like my least
Uh,
enjoyable of the trilogies now. But I
and I
think
think that there's just an evolution I've experienced in terms like where nostalgia will take you so far. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? Like and don't get me wrong, like the sequels have a fair dose of nostalgia for me because they were the first ones I saw in theaters and like they were very very special to me at that time and everything.
mhm.
But like I did grow up on the prequels, and it there's still this creativity to them that I respect more than I do the sequels, Like The Last Jedi is a different story, but when it comes to The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, there's a little bit too much of the modern day legacy sequel syndrome where it's like, yeah, we're trying to make you feel the way you did when you first
Mm,
watched this thing by replicating all the aesthetics and all of the feelings and all of the same themes
mhm.
and all like The Force Awakens, while I disagree that it is exactly the same movie as A New Hope, it is in so many ways the same movie as A New Hope. Like there's characters that are proxied in to be like, this is Luke and this is Han
Mhm.
and this is Leia, like so anyway, like when it comes to the prequels, at least they were just massive fucking swings. You know what I'm saying? At least they just swung for the fucking fences. George did. He
Mhm.
had a huge vision. And I think for the most part it pays off, like the messiest movie, Attack of the Clones, is like one of the most fun movies I've ever fucking watched. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like there's something to be said for that. So like that's why like I don't think anything will ever touch the originals. But oh man, Boba's got that game right there. I don't know, like just the
Yeah.
idea that it's Tamara Morrison under there too, like just being
Uh,
sexy as hell. I don't know. I dig it.
Not a lot of screen time, but very, very effective with what he's got.
Yeah, yeah.
And but no, I think you're right. There is the the timeline order kind of has this progression of them getting a little bit more aware of what they are, but the
Mm.
prequels do a good job of not really being self-aware or trying to get what it like replicate what you felt like in the 70s or for the first movies. It's just they are what they are, and
Exactly.
they're in universe, and it's a new time and
That's.
a definitely
I'm sorry. This
digital.
shot of Boba Fett. Did you see that shot of Boba Fett?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Holding his
always
gun,
pissed me off because it's mirrored. Um,
mirrored as.
Boba's as in like it's flipped because they forgot the rule, the 360-degree rule.
Mm-hmm.
So he was earlier in this sequence. He was on the opposite side of the room. And then they shot him to be on the other side of the room, but then
Mm-hmm.
they realized they fucked it up, so they flipped it horizontally. Like that.
Oh.
You see that?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
backwards.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't realize they would do it twice. I got lucky there. Sorry to cut you off. But that I was one of those things whenever I watch Return of the Jedi, sticks out to me every time. And it's not like it doesn't actually piss me off, but I always notice it and I'm always like, that's a funny little beef. But like, the fact that they managed to, I don't know. I don't feel like I would have noticed it breaks continuity at all if they wouldn't have flipped it, which is funny.
Yeah.
Like
Man,
it almost draws more attention to it.
I feel like
For
that's
me.
just the shot. That one right there. I might be thinking of a later one. Whenever No, I think that was it. I feel like that's just the common like snapshot that's used of like a or maybe a GIF of like a boat like him nodding maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yes.
that's every time that shot comes up, that's just what I think of. So I've always been kind of taken out of the movie and not thought of like the actual I don't know what it's doing
Right.
there. But
Right.
man, that is yeah, I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that mistake doesn't get made in Empire though. That's there's a
No, it
lot
does not.
more
It does not.
attention on where the camera
Very
is and
meticulous.
everything else there. So yeah, maybe that's
Oh,
a
we're about to get the reunion, man.
one question here, Leia. Why do you wait so long to take your helmet off? You know, like you
Right. Why
she
not give him a face
I
to
mean
be
it yeah,
familiarized
and
with?
it's for the we don't know it's Leia yet,
Yeah.
it's for the audience, but like she knows she's going into this like okay he's going to be blind. I'm gonna let him know
Right.
that you're sick, it's okay, you're blind, it'll come back to you. So yeah, she
Yeah.
knows everything, and then the first voice yes like so she knows that his like hearing is the only thing and feeling yeah
Yeah.
is the only thing he has, and all he feels is this weird ass mask. He feels for her face and then hears that, whatever language that is or voice modifier and is like, huh, where the hell am I? But yeah, I don't know. That's what
There's
maybe if
Harrison. This is the moment Harrison Ford cashed a check. Um, he
uh
was so ready to be done.
yeah, no, he had to be brought back. This is the order of business number one. We must bring back Harrison Ford. He's too damn good to let go.
And he
Um,
is, man. Like, even just in this moment, like, he's not actually sick and cold. I don't know. That's just really, really good.
man, yeah, and he does play like this blind. He is looking off just into the distance for like
Mhm.
quite a while. And even when he gets into the cell and stuff, but yeah, no, he's.
Someone who loves you.
I feel like he's
Mm.
like gotten hard on the comedic. I don't know. He's the comedic kind of beat for this movie, but uh
Woo, yeah.
finally, yeah.
These two have never been hotter, also,
hmm
by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, this is Carrie Fisher's hottest movie for sure. Everyone knows the her
everyone's
look,
familiar. See, and
the
that's the
the
thing is that
bikini,
like
but
I've always loved the Ewok princess look
hmm
where she's got her hair braided up and
Ooh,
she's wearing the big flowy dress. Gorgeous look for her. I
ev-
absolutely
man,
adore it.
every look
But
this
same for
movie.
Han. His like trench coat look when they get like everybody when they get
Mm,
to Endor just looks
hmm
so good. I absolutely love. God, look at how fucking disgusting that
Yeah, and
guy is.
then discuss. Yeah, it's like Leia and Han. Everyone else is looking so prime and beautiful, and then just all this. Like, what's hanging out of his mouth? Is that his spit? Is that just food?
Yeah,
Is that like?
I don't
Is it?
know. It's disgusting.
And I used to think that what's the little spider monkey, whatever the laugh
Uh,
guy,
yeah, the
whatever he's
Kowakian
called.
spider or
Yeah,
monkey lizard.
I
He
used to
has a name,
think.
Salacious Crumb. Salacious
Salacious
Crumb.
Crumb. God damn it. I hate how everything has a name. Or everyone has a name. But the pillow that he sits on, I thought that was actually part of Jabba's body for the
Oh yeah,
longest time of my life. And then, like, one day, I'm just looking at the shot a little closer and I'm like, wait a minute. That's just a little pillow. Like, Jabba's just kind of like surrounding his tail with a little pillow. And I don't, it was a weird.
this reunion might be even better than Leia and Hans.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
immediately
parallels
known.
their
Yeah.
meeting in Solo.
Ah, in the mud pit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
love
guess.
the way Chewie brings him in and like pets him. It's so cute, man.
Yeah, Chewie's immediately known. There's no question of who that is. I guess he was like a Wookiee, really. Had to think it's Chewie, but there's no confusion as to Leia and them. Uh,
I'm all right, pal. I'm all right.
I
I
guess
fucking love it. I
how
fucking love it.
what's the time gap between Empire and here? How long has he been frozen in carbonite for?
I think. Oh man, There's like a whole comic run that takes place in between this. I
Hmm.
believe originally the idea was that it was a year.
Okay. Yeah,
It
because
might be a little longer, but
man, yeah. See, I mean, coming in hot, coming in dark, all dressed in all black, force choking. Um, Man,
Dressed in all black. This is not for the fan of Elvis.
I like because Hoth, I guess, has to be established. I don't know how long, or maybe I don't know if parts of it already were, but like just to think of what's been going on in this meantime, I'd really like to read that comic um in between the two.
Yeah, no,
That'd be
well,
sick.
there's actually, oh man, Han Solo was not always the property of Jabba the Hutt. Actually, this is ridiculous. Kira, as part of Crimson Dawn, stole the slab with Han Solo in it and auctioned it off.
Huh?
Yeah, this is a whole fucking
What?
thing. Yeah, the War of the Bounty Hunters happens in between there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in between these movies
Whoa.
that is just ludicrous. And it's one of those things that some people are like, I don't like, some people don't love the timeline stuff where they're like, why, no way all of this happened between these movies, but like, I don't give a fuck, man. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't care about that part. I care about why does she. I was thinking you were gonna say like she bought him to like maybe like try to save him or I don't know like free him whatever, but then just to auction like Jabba bought Han from Kira. Like that's
I think so.
the idea.
I can't remember
Wow.
specifically the scenario that resulted there, but like, yeah, Kira fights Darth Vader in between these movies. It's a ridiculous fucking run, but it's
Man.
fucking awesome. It's super fun.
That does sound sick.
Yeah.
Man, but man, I guess yeah,
That's why
she's-
eventually when it comes to Fulcrum, we'll have to eventually knock out Star Wars comics because they've got some ridiculously fun stories there.
Yeah, I guess the only
Luke
one.
going for the blast.
Yeah, just not the way. What? Yeah, I guess he can't walk in with his saber like they would have taken that off of him. Is that the idea of why to have it in R2?
R2D2. Oh yeah. That's why I think.
Because I don't know what was if that's the plan. Is the plan really just to blast Jabba point blank and assassinate him? Was that the plan to force grab a blaster and then fight
Luke
your
was
way?
like, I'm just gonna kill this guy.
Yeah, like why didn't he pop out why didn't R2 pop out the saber right there? But I don't know. The rest of the movie has to happen,
No, of course,
so,
of course.
But man, no, this was some nightmare fuel for me a little.
Yeah, the
growing
Rancor.
up. I don't.
Yeah, that's a scary motherfucker.
If anything ever gets eaten in a movie, I don't. That's like just a fear that I've never you never have to encounter as a normal human. You never have to be thought of being eaten by anything, but yeah, I don't know.
Not always.
Just
yeah.
like chomped
It's
like that, like the King Kong Andy Serkis slowly getting eaten by that weird whatever thing.
Yeah.
This just I don't know. It's that and
I love that
dolls
he's just
are
got a
kind
giant bone.
yeah. My only
See, this
childhood
is one of those
fears.
things that makes it so fucking, like so pulpy and like a 40 cereal. The fact that he's fighting a giant creature with a bone, like that's just so funny.
Yeah, and the angle at which he puts it in his mouth does not line up
Not
at
make sense.
all.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was one. I guess like earlier the mirror shot. That was one thing that I've always noticed that a gripe in air quotes, but man,
Right.
And I'll just hide out here. He's like, oh, I'm just this is I don't know what you do against a Rancor really. Other than just
You don't really got a choice. I mean, they starved this motherfucker so that he's excited to eat, It's like what they do. That's
yeah,
fucked up.
man. Poor buddy just wants to be let free, and I don't know. Even can be ridden. I don't know. Boba Fett rides a Rancor. People rode these things. That's a crazy
Bro, the New
crazy
England
thought.
Patriots need to get Luke Skywalker on the phone because he's about to put this fucking random brick on a goddamn dime.
Yes, how heavy this brick has to be too. I mean, a football. He could launch a football
and
400
left-handed
yards. Yeah, true.
And left-handed.
True. I guess he's got the force on his side, but that didn't look like it was assisted at all. That was just straight.
No, that was just a toss.
Yeah.
And there are very few people in Star Wars I feel worse for than the caretaker for this Rancor. This guy right here. This poor soul.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's not happy. He's... No.
See, and it's touches like that like actually make this really good. You know, like that's not something they had to do. It's something that's kind of hilarious they even thought of. But like they were like, yeah, like everybody means something to somebody. Like that's so sad, man. Like this poor fucking guy.
Man, he's so this is the worst thing that could have happened to him, you know. And
exactly.
we have no clue anymore on that guy other than he loved that Rancor and that's it. You know, the later one that I think is just so sad is whenever one Ewok gets blown up and dies, and then Ewok, like, stands up and is like, huh? Like, oh, you're no, and then has to like deal with it.
He tries to bring him back, you know, like, oh my god, dude. Yeah,
man.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's always fucked me up.
But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, the crew and the overhead light of the Jabba's palace, man. I think it's so fucking sick. Got Lando right there in the background too.
Boba's always just lurking back there. I don't know if they do a good job of filling the screen still. That is a good thing that you know Empire has a lot better and it's a lot more strategic.
Boba back there
and you know lined up and stuff. But I feel like they're just going for let's just throw in as much alien shit as we can. Like what's that snake hanging off of the roof with its tongue out? I don't know. It's not even moving or really.
I like it though.
But man.
Yeah, they always focus on the busy frame, I feel like, in Return of the Jedi, which is not a complaint. I like that. And I think it's strong. And you know, here we got a little bit of that Fableman's, you know, when the horizon's at the top, it's interesting. When the horizon's at the bottom, it's interesting. When the horizon's in the middle, it's boring as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
See, this is what R2 is built for. Not gonna cap. You can tell he's actually liking this.
Yeah, he's filling the role. You know, he's the only one that's, I guess, in on the plan. Like 3PO is just completely out of it and has to just kind of follow along.
They don't tell 3PO fucking anything.
Nope. Yeah, R2's the only one. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this was the plan the whole time. To get them all on a ship so that you can just blow them all up instead of blowing up the palace. I don't know.
Mark Hamill's always looked really, really odd to me during this scene.
Oh, like
I don't know why. Like that right there, that just doesn't look much like him.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean literally his face. His face looks odd to me. I don't know what it is. It's just something that I've always noticed.
He's owning his new. I don't know. He's definitely going for the more stoic. He's acting
for sure.
way more stoic than he actually is. I feel like at this point, but maybe I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's a certain response Luke has to learning Vader's his father by swinging further into the control of his emotions. You know, trying not to let the anger eat at him. You know. Ew. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think I've always been of the mind the Sarlacc would be better without the head popping out of the ground. That's just me.
Just the pit. It's just the
pit. I think that would be cool.
Little
I think the tentacles are cool. But like the head, I think it's just a touch too far. Because now I feel like I got to aim for the mouth of that thing, whereas the pit just has this naturally scary, like I don't know what's down there sort of vibe. You know, it's that Jordan Peele, Alfred Hitchcock. You know, your imagination is far scarier than anything they can show you because they show me that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna try to not fall in that thing's fucking mouth. You know.
Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know what happens if you don't fall into that part and you just fall into the actual pit. Like, what's the?
That's probably what happened to Boba.
Oh,
I guess that's nothing but his mouth, huh?
Yeah, what?
There's no way around.
Yeah, that's um, the they're
Yeah.
definitely not planning anything right here. No, I don't like the
Right.
music
Yeah.
here too. I love how it's but done at every head nod. It's I don't know
God.
the
And the reveal of the green saber here in a sec.
bum bum
Ah, so
bum
fucking cool.
bum.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty nice
Do you know the
flip there.
trivia for why it's green?
Is it Qui-Gon's crystal?
Well,
Save.
that's the lore.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
lore. But the explanation is that the only reason it's green is that the blue saber didn't show up because the sky's blue.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I do think I remember. Okay, hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
It's the
not,
only reason they gave him a green saber.
wow. And then the lore is just to
I mean, it works
explain that
perfect.
movie
Yeah.
making change. It was just for a
Yeah.
purely movie making reason and just to make it look better.
Exactly.
But then now it actually has a cool implication where we can be like, yeah, sure, it's Qui-Gon's crystal kept over from in Obi-Wan's box, I guess, in that box he has, because the emitter, it kind of looks like Obi-Wan's saber, like the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there is lore describing
Boba
of where
Fett.
like the parts come from, but
Yeah.
yeah, how Boba Fett gets defeated too, I don't know, maybe uh, I don't know. I would have liked to see him gone down in a little bit more of a fight, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, but that's. I think I've always thought that that's kind of a funny choice. Just kind of being like this character you all love because how badass he looks. What if he died in the most ridiculous fucking way
Yeah.
possible? I
By
think
a-
that's funny.
A blind Han Solo, but man, this is probably the most satisfying kill.
Now this is the cool. This is the
yeah.
cool shit right here.
Oh.
There's one of my favorite Star Wars books is Star Wars Bloodlines, and I've talked about this multiple times on our in various podcasts, whether it's our Star Wars one or Penny Bloom, but there's a race of people who have been historically rivals of the Hutt cartel. I believe it's the Nicktoos. I might be mistaken though. They regard Leia as like a queen because they call her the Hutt Slayer, which is fucking cold. Which is why I think that outfit's kind of been reclaimed as Hutt Slayer Leia instead of Slave Leia.
I like that.
Which I think is cool. I think that's cold.
I like that. Yeah, that. Oh man, I don't know. Every other kill is nice. Boba Fett's funny to see him die, and Luke is really just slicing through motherfuckers. But Jabba, I don't know. That kill was. It's just.
That's the one you want.
Oh yeah, no, it feels.
Aim
it
higher,
feels
just a
very
little higher.
Yeah, like no, actually, I'm okay. I think I'll actually get pulled into the pit. No need to take that shot, Han. But
Yeah.
don't worry, I can see a lot better.
God, I love Billy D.
Man,
He's so
yeah.
good.
I mean, he's a sharpshooter. If he
He
even
is.
was blind or not, who knows actually how well he could see in that moment. But I don't know. I feel like he's got a little bit of the Force helping him out there, whether he likes to admit it or not. I don't know.
Oh, he always does.
In the sequels, just that one shot of him, the complete
Not looking.
Yeah, the no look is like, oh, I don't know. Whether it's just for his legendary status.
No,
at that
Force
point, I
works
don't know.
through. Well, Force
Yeah.
works through everybody. You know.
Yeah, he needed to hit that shot. The Force needed that blaster to hit. I don't know. Yeah, just
It knows that Lando needs to blow up the Death Star. You know.
oh man, R2 just pushing 3PO along. A classic look here. Whether Han can, I don't know. Does Han see this happen? No. Okay, he's looking down. I don't know because I'm trying to pick up everything where Han might just be feeling jealous, because that would definitely be one moment that he wished he could have had. His Indy moment on swing with Leia, but Luke's got it in the nice outfit too. Up there, but I don't know. I just love that last moment of when Han realized, when Leia tells him, no, it's not like that, you big dummy.
And he's like,
whatever,
And his look of realization and then relief and the brief moment of disgust where he's like, remember when you kissed? No, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm not even going to think about that.
Man. Yeah. Man, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Luke has that moment whenever he gets that, he gets the drop or the bomb dropped. He's like, oh wait a minute, I definitely kissed my sister. Oh wait, no, I gotta hide my emotions don't matter. But
that's one of those moments that is actually enhanced by the format I told you to. I said if you're going to show somebody who knows nothing about Star Wars, the movies, if you show them 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. The moment where Padme names the kids is a lot cooler than the reveal in Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, that would be kind of okay. So you're having some payoffs that are a little bit cooler, but you're kind of that it would be a jarring. It would be just kind of jarring to go from such like technological different movies, like the eras.
This shot.
Them, ooh.
It has always just fucking ruled for me. Because a lot of that is a painting.
Even the people?
Which is,
some of
a lot
of
the people are painted.
Man, I never even thought of that. I guess I know a lot of the backgrounds are matte paintings, but I never thought of this one. Some of the people might be. But man, they made it known that the Emperor's showing up. Like Vader's showing up, and a few fleets were out there.
There was like Vader. 12 people. Yeah.
Man, but they're bringing out everybody. I mean, I guess obviously, if you're in the Empire, this is the dude. But no one does anyone actually like him. Like I think it is all purely fear. It is just like if I am not here, I will die. Like I have to be here and stay still, not say a word.
I feel like Tarkin was the only guy that was like, yeah, that's my dog, like that's the homie.
Yeah. I mean, if there is any romance had between Palpatine or Tarkin, it's just that it's them two. They can't find anyone else in the universe at all. That's the only romance that ever could have happened.
Just good old Wilf and Sheev.
Yeah, I could see it. But I'd rather them not. I'd rather them not have anything at all, even if it is them two.
Right. See, this is immediately one of those obvious differences between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Dagobah looks like shit, and obviously it's supposed to look like shit, but it does not look nearly... It only looks like shit because we know how good it can look in Empire Strikes Back. You know what I'm saying?
This was one of the biggest differences that I saw. Like, and I'm like, all right, first act, we're done. We got Han, we're out, everything, all good. And then I'm like, all right, finally, we get the moment with Yoda, before he says his goodbyes. And then I'm like, oh man, what is it? It doesn't feel the same. I don't know. It was and I couldn't quite place it. Maybe that is it. Like, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have the same weight as Dagobah did in Empire. That's for sure.
The texture of it just all looks so smooth. I don't know. There's something about Empire that's just shot so compellingly, and like the interior here. It's not so. There's nothing. I don't have much against it or anything, but I think it's so funny that even the puppet here is slightly different than the one in Empire. They continuously try to evolve the way the puppet looks to like reflect a year older or 20 years younger or whatever the fuck when it comes to the prequels. But this moment has always been very, very funny.
I'm gonna die.
Yoda,
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I know I'm really going. Oh, one more thing, Luke.
No, I'm actually dead.
Luke, remember days. I don't know. It is way more. It has only gotten funnier as the years have gone on. That's for sure. But yeah, that's when he comes back. He's like almost gone, and he's like, "I am a Jedi." He's like, "All right, hold on, dude. No, I got to come back a little bit more. I got to laugh at you for a little bit."
He's like, Vader, you must kill Vader. No, I know, obviously that's not what he says, but like. That being the sentiment coming off of Yoda and Obi-Wan is very fucking funny. That they're like, no, you got to murder that guy.
Yeah, we know, we just, we lied to you. We didn't really tell you it was his father, whatever. But now you you must kill him. Obviously,
you got to kill that guy.
Love
he's bad.
The gaslighting that Obi-Wan does after this. He's out there and he's like,
from a certain point of view.
Yeah. And like, he's like, I can't
is he really my father?
Yeah, he's like,
I don't know. I need to rest. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Asking the most important question of of my life kind of right now. I think I'll die now, actually. Um, but no. Yeah, he is, and this is it is an interesting moment for Luke where like he still he knows it to be kind of true, but hearing it from Yoda like just absolutely
It affirms everything.
solidifies it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like hearing it from the good side, I guess, where it couldn't be.
Well, and I love the line Yoda says, unexpected and unfortunate. Like it's something they couldn't have foreseen was Vader telling him that. And it just kind of adds to the idea that Luke even existing breaks the cracks in Anakin's facade. Luke revealing himself to him and going, him being like, I am your father. There's a certain element of him that was reawakened via Luke even being present. And that makes it all the more funny that Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, kill the guy,
and whenever like Luke is like, I can't kill my father. Like he returns with, well, then fuck, I guess the Empire's already won. Or like, I don't know. He's like, well, then we're doomed. He's like, we're fucked. Like, not like, well, I understand, Luke. I know he is your father. I don't know. Not trying to kind of level with him.
Not trying to comfort him or anything.
Like,
just being like, well, then we're going to fucking die.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The Jedi dogma. I don't know. It is crazy how like it really has changed. Like they did used to be for me just like they were good. Like no matter what, like I don't know. They were just the good guys. But now like it's crazy that watching back through, like when Luke is training for the first time, like he's starting to ask questions and Yoda's like, no. That's actually where training ends for the day. It makes it like more apparent that like this is why they take kids so young, is that they don't really ask questions. They're sponges, they haven't really developed that critical thought yet of if the dogma can be wrong or anything, and a lot easier to train them. But I don't know, it's been interesting to watch Star Wars over the years after all this, and to think of, I don't know, they're not always the good guys, but there's the actual order dying. I don't know. I feel like this is the actual death that solidified the. I guess I don't know. Luke does have a brief stint, but this is the complete new era of Jedi. Luke.
Rest in piss, you little green freak.
Man. And there you go. Man. And here comes, just deal with the death, and now got to come into gas. You got to reaffirm, like, hey, maybe Yoda didn't fully convince you to kill your dad. I gotta.
Hey man, I got to talk to you for a second. And I like that Yoda has like just become one with the Force, so he has like every possibility of being here. But he's like, nah, I gotta let that moment sit for a second. I can't talk to him.
There, he probably is. Yeah. He's listening and maybe even telling Obi-Wan what to say too. I don't know. Not gonna maybe this is
Obi-Wan interacting fully with the environment too. After the previous couple, the last movie where he was barely there and everything, and now he's ducking under branches and sitting next to him and stuff. I've always loved the way that he becomes more tangible.
Did he move that vine? Did that vine actually move? I never really noticed that, or did he just kind of walked around it? That would be.
I think he walked around it.
Okay, it would be cool to see if he actually moved, like caused an actual
point of view.
Man, is really, dog? He's like, I can't really accept that answer. Like, yes, you are technically right, but come on now. First time he's ever heard his dad's name right there too. Anakin. Which that's interesting
in the context that he is his father. Yeah.
I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, duh. Okay. I don't know why I actually thought that was the legit just.
I'm pretty sure he mentions Anakin in the first.
Anakin
movie.
destroy. I guess he's known Anakin not as his father. He thought that it was a completely separate person. I guess, and
right,
and that he, Vader just killed Anakin Skywalker, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, this I can't kill my own father, Ben. I mean, well, fuck.
Oh, yeah, then we're fucked, man. Sorry to hear
The
that.
Emperor's already won. You were our only
Sorry to
hope.
say that the entire galaxy's hopes were pinned on the idea that you might kill your dad. But that's where we're at.
Yeah. Like, is it not, that you must face the Emperor, like the actual, like the bad guy? Why do you have to, maybe it's just the step along the way. Like, you can't kill the Emperor without killing Vader first. Maybe, I don't know. But I feel like that would be the more reasonable plan.
Right. It's also funny watching this and realizing how much the connections to the prequels from the original trilogy, pretty much this movie, they're setting up all the threads that George Lucas eventually wants to tie with the whole, like, when you were born, you were separated and hidden, and you have a twin sister, and your father, he was actually Darth Vader, and here, like that, like, it's all feels like George Lucas was like, all right, now this is obviously the prequel to my prequels a little bit.
That's true. Yeah, and maybe that's where the, I don't know, downfall might be too big of a word to call it, but like this is the end of the trilogy, but it is still kind of setting up even more. Like it is, I mean, there are new kind of things that could be gone down. And I don't, that is kind of weird that you say that, because yeah, like this does make me want to go back and watch the prequels again, even though I just watched them. I feel like, I don't know, I don't think I'll have a brand new perspective really on it, or anything will change that much. But
there she is, baby, Mon Mothma, first time.
The Lita. I mean, man, this room. I think. Oh, that was this.
Yeah,
I guess we missed it.
Man.
The walk into the room. There's like a tracking shot of people walking
No,
into the room.
I almost said something,
everybody.
but you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, man, I guess I'm mad that I was talking during that point, because that is, I think, my favorite shot of the movie. Overall,
it's so strong. The room is such it's such a great production design. But we also mentioned earlier how Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher have never looked better. Billy D looks as good as he always does.
I mean,
that man's clean as hell. Somebody must have told them about my maneuver at the Battle of Tanab.
Man.
And then you got Admiral Akbar, who's just sexy.
Man, I mean, yeah, the sex. I mean, man, he just
he just oozes sex.
It's a trap. Man, that's. Man, I don't know, this room. It always just impressed. Like, I love that they set out to build this room. Like that first shot, I feel like that's why it might be my favorite shot, is that it shows the whole room, and it's kind of them. Maybe they're not trying to brag or trying to show it, but it is kind of like, hey, no, we built the whole thing, like this isn't
did the shit.
Like one angle that you're kind of looking, like everyone's, I don't know, I feel like that is like a pretty big room that they did build, and some of these shots could be like, this is just a part of the set, that they built for separately, but like I feel like a lot of it just is in that same room the whole time. Or if it is different pieces of sets the whole time, then that, I don't know, that is impressive to me, that I feel like I am just in that room the whole time without really being able to tell. But
no, right. And I love the way Han and Lando here have officially ascended past being the scoundrel smugglers. They've both already volunteered to spearhead the missions to take down Death Star 2 without telling anybody. Like, they were like, yep, we're on it. Like, we're doing the shit. We're leading the teams. We are in there. And I absolutely love that.
No question about it now. Yeah, the fight is on. I feel like once you blow up one Death Star, that's, I don't know.
Kind of gives you
Yeah. Han didn't even want to be there for that one. He almost didn't. He almost left and then came back in at the last second to let Luke drop the big one. But yeah, I don't know, that it would be I feel like you chase that high all the time, and then I mean they do get it, here. So I mean that
God, that matte painting background's insane.
Yeah, that's
Like, that's a painting. That's fucking ridiculous.
And how, like, they're big, right? Like, aren't they
they're
actually
giant
massive?
paintings, yeah.
Man, yeah, I wonder who, like, where they all are, you know?
Where'd that end up?
Man. And in someone's house, probably. You know, I think a lot of them were auctioned off, but I wonder if some of them just still sit in, like, I don't know, some warehouse or something where it's, like, preserved somehow, I hope. I don't know. Or if, I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe some of them just, I hope none of them were just thrown away. Like, all right, we finished the movie. Like, we can get rid of them.
There was almost certainly some that were just set aflame, like, reduced to ash.
That's sad.
To save space.
That's a sad thought. Yeah, because they are big. I guess that it would be a logistical thing to kind of take care of them, but, like, man, like, to just have that as a wall of my house one day would be so fucking cool. Just to, I don't know. I feel like I could set up a camera and actually get a shot of Star Wars if I wanted to.
Right.
But, man, yeah. There, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I have Blu-ray now, or that I don't know that I am not watching them on the streaming, like, or on Disney Plus. That every time, usually with TIE Fighters, mostly, I can see, like, the green screen or blue screen element so much more.
Right.
Like the square kind of surrounding it. I guess on shots like that, it's not really noticeable. But, like, in space, whenever they're just back to the stars and stuff. And I guess...
Well, one thing that's always struck me particularly about this, the throne room, and it doesn't actually look that bad right now on my Blu-ray or anything, but there's always a contrast between the lighting of the interiors and the paleness of space outside, or the darkness of space outside. Like, it always feels like it's not happening here, and I'll try to find an example of where it does happen. It happens in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon also, or in the cockpit of any ship. Where I'm like, oh, well, you're obviously not in that space that you seem to be. And I like to think that those were Nimoidians before there were Nimoidians.
Yeah,
just the design element.
Oh, okay. That probably makes sense. I was trying to think of, like, who these people are, you know, of, like, are these just his
Trade Federation?
Yeah, that
is where
makes
my
sense.
money's at.
Yeah, okay. That totally makes sense. But
Before they made them racist caricatures.
yeah. Man, I guess couldn't foresee that costume design for now, but man, I don't know. Maybe not a. Would have been nice to keep them as humans. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe that would have been even worse if they were humans and they would have kept them as that the stereo. If they would have kept the stereotype too, yeah, maybe even worse.
Yeah, then it would,
yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. Like the cockpit, like in Empire, the cockpit is so well lit and, like, every shot looks so good. This, I don't know, like, every time they show, it's maybe the light that comes on the actors just does not match. I don't know, something's wrong with the compositing.
Yeah, something's just a little off.
And
it's you know, like, there's only so many ways you can handle that, but, like, you know, like we did say, like, an Empire, it's not as an issue.
It's not like they didn't have the technology to do it. It's, you know, I don't feel like it happened in the movie before, and, like, this looks good when it's just the cockpit and it's nothing else. There's no window, no space, whatever. But the second that there's motion, I guess, or spaces in the background, it just looks a little jank. In which
they never lost their sense of scale, though. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
That was a pretty awesome shot just a second ago.
Yeah. Another potential favorite was way early on,
like that.
Whenever
that's cool.
I feel like it is a Lambda shuttle just going into it's Vader showing up to the Death Star initially. Whenever the Falcon flew into the Death Star, you know, and we saw the scale there, we get it with the Lambda shuttle and Vader in this one, and yeah, I don't know. That is the sci-fi elements of this movie. I will never complain about. Like, everything is, I don't know, as a sci-fi movie goes. I feel like, yeah, this is why George, I don't know, is screaming through on this one. It's not necessarily the good movie, but man, for just some cool nerd shit, I think that you can't really complain much with that.
God, I want to go to the redwoods so bad.
Yeah, this
The Californian redwoods. I love that he's like, okay, what looks like a whole different planet for a forest?
that's just
How about San
California.
Francisco? Yeah.
I mean, those trees actually are real.
Yeah, these are all real.
The big ass fat trunks. I guess I.
You cannot fathom how large the redwoods are.
Oh my! I get wow. That actually I had no clue this was just in California. I thought that this had to
Yeah.
have been. I don't know. I don't even know. But wow. That yeah.
It's like, what trees feel like they come from a different fucking planet?
Honestly, I guess they
Like, that's a real fucking tree.
that kind of blow.
These are real fucking trees.
That's not okay on it. Like trees, I
That's
like
not
they
okay.
scare me on it. Like, and whenever I learn that like trees are way larger organisms, like they're all connected. Like like some forests are just one massive tree.
Hive mind. Yeah.
That I don't know. They are kind of they're farming us. It feels like at the end of the day.
Right.
So that I feel like I don't know. There's this mysterious nature to them, but
we need them. Yeah, no, I've always loved, obviously, the speeder chase sequence is iconic, but the way that they did it was just going through the forest with the camera and then speeding the frames per second up whenever we get like the point of view shots. Like that. Like, it's just
oh wow, they're just
like that.
Like, did they set up a track through the forest? You think?
Yeah,
or just
track,
walk?
and yep, and they just towed a camera through there, not very fast, and then got the perspective going, got the sped it up for them, and it looks fucking great.
Man, yeah, these costume designs,
Just
man.
classic.
Leia does go through. This is probably her best movie for costume designs. Like, just man, you're like the end whenever she is all through and like in the her princess form with in the Ewok camp up there. It is beautiful, but this outfit here, man,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know.
cold.
Like, whenever she takes the
something
helmet
that makes
off,
me like
eventually.
This is what makes me the most nostalgic of like any of the original trilogy movies is the Endor sequences. Everything just feels so familiar. And I think it's just because like I had these toys, I had the little speeder bikes, I had the little forest troopers,
Man.
I had Luke and Leia in these outfits. It's just it works perfect.
They are
Pretty
zooming.
sure. Yeah, I actually have Leia right here. In this, if you look at the
Oh yeah.
in this outfit, right next to the bed over here.
Blasted up too. Yeah, she's always quick. I mean, she is quick with it. I mean, just blasting on sight.
Cold.
Man, and oh, the one fear I always had, like I always thought it'd be so much fun to have one of these speeders, but this would be the worst place just geographically.
This is nightmare.
I would crash
material
into
if
a
you drive
tree
speeder.
within 2 seconds. I mean, there's
Minutes.
no
Yeah.
way that I last longer than 10 seconds. I mean, I would like I'm only going on open, I don't know, flat land pretty much. Or I guess I don't know, like if it's mountain speeders seem to like not care
Why
about
would you look
gravity too
backwards?
much, but
Right.
just I feel like the open dunes. I would love a speeder on the open dunes, sand dunes. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But not here.
Well, they feel like they require less balance than a motorcycle, like they're naturally balanced and everything. Like I feel like I could ride one and ride one fast, but not here. Yeah, like this is where you actually need skill. Well, and it kind of goes back to George Lucas's obsession with, vehicles and motorcycles and cars and stuff. Like I feel like that's absolutely where these speeders come from. And it's so fucking cool, man. I've always loved the helmets in this movie, both the Rebel Endor helmets and the Stormtrooper helmets. There, I think that it's just brilliant costume design.
Oh, and doink. Man, yeah. Do you let go if you're spinning out of control, or do you know what? Like,
I think you ride that out and die more instantly than fall off at 200 miles an hour.
Because, yeah, you let go at one point, you get flung upwards in the air like 500 feet. Or if you let go and you just get slammed into the ground as hard, that hard. Or at any side, I don't know, I feel there's not really a good any good outcome there. But I thought she was with you. But
this is probably my favorite Chewie look. The flock of seagulls Chewie. It looks like he got his hair did.
yeah, I did. He did. I don't know. He does look a little bit more. I don't know what the word is, but like done up. Yeah, like he does.
Yeah.
Look like he kind of tried.
It looks like he has a hairstyle. Yeah.
Before he was just scruffy
great.
and I don't know, just he was just Chewy.
Yeah.
I feel like there was no attention to it, but now, man, I don't
Now
know.
it looks like he has bangs cut.
Yeah, he's like
No, I love it.
he's in the fight. You know, everyone else is looking great, looking fine. So he's like, I gotta
It's like,
stand
it's
out.
Chewie's finest movie too, you know. Oh, little Wicket the Ewok.
Yeah, they're never a threat. You know, it's even with a spear in hand and pointed at. It's like, oh,
Yeah, Leia being
come
like,
on, little guy. You know what you doing? Point, you know, get that out of here. But
I have to focus on their whole being and not so much their faces because their faces are fucking freaky.
yeah, yeah, they're not the cutest. You know, they're a cute overall. But yeah, if you
Their
focus
eyes are
in,
horrifying.
yeah, they're like gremlins. Like they remind me of just I don't know, a gremlin face only, but then with just a cute
Right.
body.
Little teddy bear guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I know. I feel like all their faces are just kind of freaky looking. There's not there's not really any of them that are actually kind of cute.
Not a lot of variation. But yeah, I've always loved the performance of Wicket by Warwick Davis. Just the curiosity and the physical performance here it's really strong. You know, I think it's an underrated aspect of this movie, is how good. Because like you never for a second, I mean, like for me, think about the fact that it's a person in a suit. You know, like that is just an Ewok, and I think that's really really impressive to pull off. Warwick Davis has had a very strong working relationship with Lucasfilm. He's actually in every Star Wars movie after this, in some capacity. Pops up and everything. You'll actually remember him specifically from Solo. He's in the Marauder gang that Enfys Nest leads. And he plays... he also plays Willow in the movie Willow.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Wow, so that's him here. Wow, is this the first time he pops up in Star Wars? Or
This is
so he wasn't in
the
Empire.
first. I mean, he's also very young at this point too, like a kid. I can't remember how old he is here because he's not very. He's pretty young in Willow even. Let's see. I'm gonna look into it real quick.
Yeah, because I recognize
Warwick
him now.
Davis.
Now that you say the Willow, yeah, there.
Oh yeah,
that he was in there.
At the time of filming, he would have been 11 or 12.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. That's
So very, very young. The movie came out when he was 13 though. So like, that's just me guessing 11 or 12, probably 12, more likely. Well, maybe not. Probably did take a while to film these things, but,
and then just a staple in every single one somehow.
every single one
movie
after.
since then. Blasting. Yeah, man.
She cold.
And yeah, I don't know. Now that the helmet is off and showing her hair, this is like her with
This
the
is
helmet
the
is
design.
cool, but no, the helmet off, it all just comes together.
The braid, crown. Yeah, no, she's just too cool, man. I think if I had to go with a favorite character in this movie, it probably would be Leia. It's just, Hutt Slayer Leia and the befriending of the Ewoks and, going and saving Han in the bounty hunter outfit, nearly acting like she was going to blow the fucking place up. It's cool. I like the whole.
Oh yeah,
I like the whole vibe.
She was who I came down with for me character wise. I thought that it was for sure Luke Skywalker, as that's just who that's the nostalgia character. I feel like for this movie, just for green lightsaber. I don't know, the Jabba's kind of moment
And
alone.
I mean, like the
but-
fulfillment of his arc, the betraying of
True.
not betraying, but like the idea that he had to kill them, had to kill his dad, whatever. Like
he was
it's just-
steadfast. He never.
Yeah.
He might have got angry a little bit. He did get angry for a little bit there, but he did hold true. He did throw his saber down and let he was gonna let the Emperor kill him straight up. So
I love this moment where Vader's like, I felt him, and Palpatine's like, strange that I have not.
yeah.
Do you think that Vader is protecting his son? In the Force?
Oh.
From Palpatine?
Oh. I never thought of because I guess.
Yeah, he goes, strange that I have not felt it. Are you sure your feelings on this matter are clear, Lord Vader? Like, if I don't feel it and you must be doing something about it. Which I think is a cool concept.
Yeah, because it is made clear that Palpatine knows everything that's going on. Everything is from his plan, and it's going perfectly. So yeah, that is. I wonder. Like, what other reason do they put that in there? I guess to just show that there is, some actual conflict with Vader.
Right.
There definitely is. But yeah, that is. I never thought about it like from the Palpatine angle of him being like, yeah, I actually haven't felt him at all. That is. I wonder if he just knows the plan, or I don't know. Like if he's not expecting Luke. Yeah, I don't.
Chewie, always thinking with his stomach.
Because it's not like the light side is shielded, like the dark side,
not at all.
Like at all. So like it would just Vader. It's just more on his mind because it is. Yeah. Okay. Huh. I've never actually thought about that little detail before. Man, yeah, that animal, whatever. It looks like it's like, I don't know. Its mouth was its butt somehow, and it had like its the tail was its nose, and I don't know. It was a really weird.
It's a weird
looking.
But
animal.
Chewie was like, "I'm gonna eat this motherfucker." Okay.
Meat's meat. I don't know. I guess to Chewie. That's. I don't know what they eat back on Kashyyyk. I don't know. But I would assume Wookiees are probably. I mean. The top of the food chain when it comes to Kashyyyk, but
in the way that
like
we're the top of the food chain on Earth, probably. There's probably animals and things that could take them on head to head, but the Wookiees have figured out a way to be the civilized, quote unquote, species of the planet.
Is it known if like Wookiees are like species wide vegetarian? Like, are they at such peace with nature that they like their diet is completely like restricted in that sense, or like
I don't believe so, at least not according to the Wookiee we know well, which is Chewbacca. It seems that he's always down to eat.
That's true.
A living
I guess true. He
creature.
was going to eat that meat right there.
And he was going to eat a porg. He actually cooks one up, and then the porgs are like, hold the phone. And he's like,
true.
Fuck, fine.
True. Chewie could be an outlier. I don't know. And the maybe
it'd be funny if he was.
He's a true like Wookiee rebel. Of all of them, but I don't know the Wookiees. Yeah, this being the god. I've always wondered why they. Is it just that he's gold?
I'm guessing it's R2? The gilded gold is what I've got to guess. Is that he just looks regal to them.
Do they have a previous
I'm assuming they have a previously established god, and C-3PO resembles that god.
Man,
and I mean he is just a protocol droid. It'd be funny if a protocol droid showed up years ago and became their leader, and then they're like it's the second coming.
Oh man, yeah, it's just it's a crazy thought, but like in a universe so wide or in a galaxy so wide, there would be some life forms that are so, I don't know, that one protocol droid could spark a religion completely. And man, yeah, that was one of favorite lines of the movie. Like I feel like Harrison Ford's like fully owning something here. Like, why don't you use your divine influence? Like I don't know
Yeah.
what like this kind of tone or accent, like not accent, but like this tone that he uses throughout the whole movie, kind of with 3PO.
Yeah,
I
he's
love.
elevating his. I think that there was that element to him that was like he's coming back for another movie that he doesn't really want to be in, so he's
Hmm.
just going balls to the fucking wall with the ridiculousness. Because I think you could say like the only other movie where I mean, obviously in Empire he was a little bit more grounded and he had a little bit more of a dramatic storyline to him, so he had to be a little bit more serious. But A New Hope, you know, he had the everything's fine here. How are you? You know, like he had that, but
Hmm.
he's got a pretty great line. He's got great line deliveries all over this movie that are pretty fucking funny. Especially when they're tied up here, and whenever they start to like light the fire and he tries to blow it out and stuff. Like that's just good stuff. It's probably one of the more comedic performances, and maybe the funniest performance in all of the original trilogy. Maybe
Hmm.
all of Star Wars. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he was. I feel like you're right in the sense that he's coming back and he doesn't really want to be here. So it is just let me just go, let me just have some fun
You
with
just
it.
throwing shit
And
at the wall. You know,
hmm
like what he said about portraying Thunderbolt Ross in the new Captain America movie, where he's like, you know, I've been paid to act like an idiot before. You know, like I think this might be one of those things he's alluding to.
yeah, yeah. It's the I don't know. I feel like
There
maybe
she
Empire
is.
was a little, yeah, that there's the look, I guess.
That's the
Yeah.
look.
The
Yeah,
the look of the movie. That's for sure. Maybe it is a lot of it's the hair, I feel like.
it
Yeah.
is.
That's
It's hair.
man.
She's always got a great hairstyle. I mean, like this is the movie where she feels the most like Padme's daughter. You know, in terms of
Mhm.
you know, and A New Hope, she had a little bit of that as well, obviously with the white flowy dress, and I mean Empire she did too. But Empire, I wish she would have. There should have been more costume changes for her than there was in Empire. This movie effectively gives her a varying costume design, which I really appreciate.
Mm. Yeah, I guess Padme or Queen Amidala has the excuse of like she's actual royalty
Yeah,
and like
whole other
being
ball
the
game.
symbol and like has to change her outfits. I don't know, there's a very good excuse to go through outfit changes, but yeah, Leia just like the whole group has to go through a kind of a
Mm.
costume change for her to get one. So, but man, yeah, she does feel like Padme here. I guess this is later, but like the whenever she's yeah blowing it out. Yeah, uh, and Luke, waiting quite a while here. I don't know, waiting really to the last second here to finally whip this out. But
Or you will use your magic. Yeah, and I love that 3PO thinks he's doing it. Somehow he feels like he's responsible for this.
hmm yeah, well, man, I mean, I guess I talked about how Luke's ego would be quite inflated. This movie. I think 3PO's going through this a rapid progression. He's like always been yelled at by especially by Han, like shut up and turned off by even Leia,
Hmm.
everything like that. Now he's the god, and the soul, I don't know, the only one who's actually, well, Leia's chilling, I guess. They completely, what, I guess I never thought about that. Why to instantly fry up and eat Luke and Han, but Leia was just, I guess Leia gave one of them food, and then
Yeah, they're like
maybe that's
this
it.
chick's a homie, you know, like
Hmm.
we down with her.
Man.
I never knew I had it in me. Yeah, like that's just good stuff, man. This is my favorite scene of the movie.
Mm.
The storytelling. It's a fun fulfillment of one of my favorite little through lines, which is in the first movie. 3PO says he's never been a good storyteller,
Hmm.
and he's obviously incredible at it. I love Han and
Yeah.
Leia in this scene. I think that their whole vibe and them kind of looking to the future for the first time.
Mm.
It's the first time they've ever slowed down. I feel like everything's always been gas, no brakes, and now they get a second to
Hmm.
think about all they've done, think about what's left, and think about what comes after. And I think that
Mm.
that's something that Leia and Han really, really needed, specifically Leia. I love the way that, like, I think Wicket actually, like, leans his head onto, like, Han's lap, and, like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, I like to, headcanon, this is, like, when Ben Solo was first imagined,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I love just the sound effects that 3PO can use, in between.
Yeah.
But then whenever he mentions like Han's name, I feel like Han has like an actual reaction of like, he still doesn't like to be talked about as the hero, but he's so clearly like being put on one of the biggest pedestals like there is with this story, and then Leia like hugging him because of that, and
Right.
he's finally like accepting, I don't know, kind of I don't know. This
his
is a
place,
really
his
good
place
moment
is
for all
actually
of them.
here. Yeah, no, it is. It's a brilliant moment. They're actually a part of the tribe now. Just what I always wanted. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it, man. Luke's like, all
Yeah.
right, I got it.
We're not going to be eaten. I guess that's cool, and we can hang out here. But
And we're blitzing
this,
right through this thing. Yeah, we're already here.
Oh yeah. I guess the story time, this solidified them fighting the Empire, when it came to it, I guess. So kind of an
Very
important alliance was
I
made.
love this part.
because
Dude,
of-
sorry.
yeah. Yeah. Finally,
Hurry
whenever
up,
he
will
has his
ya?
power back.
Yeah.
I haven't got all day.
And 3 people being like, Now, this might be my favorite shot. That shot of her approaching him on the bridge. I feel like the Ewok village is the best photography across the movie. Aside from, ironically, I think that the interiors of the Imperial ships and Death Star have been better in previous movies, but I think that's where this movie thrives the most, is when it is in the cold, dark, black and white aesthetics of the Empire. But besides that, I feel like here is its strongest visual.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. And it helps that the actors are looking very, very
They
good
look great.
as
Yes, they
well.
do look
In
great.
Moonlight, I guess it's maybe probably artificial, but
Yeah.
supposed to be Moonlight. But yeah, no, just in the moment here is crazy too. There's a lot of things going right here. Like this is a very, very strong part of the movie overall.
Well, and there's something about this that's like, modern filmmaking versus 80s filmmaking. Like, I wish night sequences still looked this good, now it'd be too naturalistic. It would be too dark, frankly, without any of that glimmer. Yeah,
Man.
I think that this moment makes it very clear how much more difficult this revelation is for Leia than it is Luke, because of her history with Vader. Like, Vader's tortured her, and, held her shoulder as they blew up they blew up her home planet. He made her watch, stuff like that. Like, it's a whole different relationship she has to their dad than Luke does.
Yeah. I guess Luke got the like the father bomb dropped, and then it took a little bit to piece together that Leia was his sister. So like he got a lot more time in between these bombs, and Leia's like boom, 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 like getting all of this at once.
You have the Force.
Yeah.
Your father is Darth Vader. I am your brother. Like, it's all these things right in a row.
Yep. And then also, if I die, you are the only hope. You get good luck. All this pressure is put on your shoulders. If it wasn't already, you're already, just in the rebellion, fighting, the Empire and high up there and doing all these things. No, now also here you go. But I love her being able to be like, dude, if that's the problem, he can sense you, just go far away from here. Like, that's like the obvious kind of the answer right now. I don't know. It's not time. And what does happen if Luke does decide to just go away?
Yeah.
Does Vader chase Luke, or does Vader stay with, does the Death Star still blow up?
Right.
Because does Luke do anything to further the explosion of the Death Star?
No.
I don't think so. I think like it's
He
all
does. He is
completely
directly
done.
responsible for the death of the Emperor,
True.
which actually
Yeah.
ends the war. They've blown up
Okay,
a Death
so
Star before.
that's true. I guess blow up the Emperor was not in the Death Star. He was in
Yeah.
his own ship. So like I guess blowing up the Death Star doesn't
No, he was
actually
on
end
the Death
war
Star.
there.
Um,
Oh, that's right. They were there.
Yeah, they were
So,
on the Death Star.
but it wasn't. If I guess Vader and the Emperor would have still been there, maybe they would have evacuated. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everybody Luke still manages to get off the Death Star in time. Like he, so
very, very barely there. I guess, yeah. Wow,
that's one of my favorite Han moments too. Recognizing that he's kind of slipping into his old self, and then being like, you know what, never mind. I need to be
like,
here for
damn.
her. It's
I
sweet.
fucked up
It's sweet.
there. And
This is another
just
one of my favorite shots, by the way. I think that this
the
platform,
scale here.
yeah, it's so
Is
good.
the AT-AT
good.
down there, like
Yeah.
slowly walking. That's just cool. That's just a cool Star Wars ass shot there.
Like that
The
too.
big,
just the
look at that
platform,
satellite. Has other satellites on top of it. Like it's a big ass satellite with way more than that. We only saw a little portion of it. That was the first time I've ever seen that. That was actually nuts. But I don't know. This is the whole. I hate picking the ends of movies as like my favorite scenes. But man, I don't know. I can't get enough of just the last fight. Or not really fight. The non-fight.
I mean, there's still 40 minutes left in this movie, which is crazy. Because it feels like it's just gonna fly. Like we're at the end, is how I feel about it. And I guess it is the third act, but like,
yeah, we're
this
beginning.
if my favorite
the
scene isn't the storytelling, it would be this conversation between Luke and Vader here.
It's so good. This, like, finally getting a little bit of Annie to show through. The maybe my actual favorite line of the movie is "It's too late for me, son," or no, it's too late for me, son, and just the realization. I don't know, him kind of being like, no, like you are right, but I'm too far gone. Like it is just kind of like too late now. And man, just I don't know the amount of edits that have been made as well of this moment. I think of like I feel like the first time I ever thought about this scene differently was an edit that had like the subtitles, and it would be like Vader for some of the lines and then Anakin for some of the other lines. Like this is Anakin talking here, kind of proud, like, your skills are complete. You've built a new lightsaber, and you are as powerful. But then he has to get back in Vader mode and say, the correct dark things for the time, and to justify his own twisted, his own everything. And it's
Obi-Wan
crazy
once
that
thought as you do. Yeah.
Like it's just if you take away all the sci-fi and everything, it's just like a father and son. Like, yes, it's galaxy implicating, and I mean, a lot of lives will be changed and stuff, but like, it's just taking super simple family stories to the extremes. And that's, I don't know why I like sci-fi, is you can do a whole lot with simple-ish story. I don't know. Just it seems that you're doing a lot because the scale is so massive, and we are on planets and I don't know, flying between different solar systems and such. But man, can't get enough.
There's also this cool thing about knowing I don't think this was intentional at the time, but knowing now about the rule of two. And Vader going, "He is your master now."
Ooh.
Is he resigning himself to death so that his son can live? Is that something that's possible as well?
Yeah.
Even though it is in the dark side. Like I don't know. I always like pondering those sorts of things, because obviously at the time I don't think that was the case when they wrote that, but there is a little bit of a hindsight thing now that the lore's expanded a bit. Yeah,
because I guess
I do enjoy.
The way they talk about it is that Luke would be a valuable asset to them. But then Vader, him saying that, he he will be your master. I don't know, that kind of does imply something a little bit different rather than like we'll just use his abilities.
Well, especially since his strength in the Force, yeah, like it is a little different because like the Inquisitors were Vader was their master, you know, like if he's going Palpatine will be your master, like it's a whole other level there.
Man, yeah, it'd be interesting to see not a remake of like the original movies, but if George could, now knowing the lore that is established, what he would change or what
how
would be
many
made
little
clear.
tweaks.
Or what if he would change much, but be interesting to see how different the movies would be. The complete faith in Han that
my friend
Lando has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a little bit, I guess. He
got to still be
the
cautious.
One, but I guess more on the whenever they get there, he's the only one that's like, no, we need to buy him more time. Like he will get that shield down. And whenever they realize it's not down, they don't know that quite yet. But that they are walking into a trap. But
it's a trap.
Man, that it kind of. This is just California. I can go. I mean, it is still far away from me, but like.
No, yeah, you could feasibly go here.
I don't know why I've always thought that this was actually so foreign or so far away, but I don't know. Just that big of a tree. I just didn't think it could be here.
San Francisco fumbled being the greatest city on the planet by not building affordable housing.
Man, yeah, because it is kind of a. I don't want to call the whole city a dump, but like I don't know. It seems like the
no,
bridge
it's a
is
beautiful place, but like it's like you want an apartment out there, and it's a fucking $1 million. Like
that's true.
You can't live there unless you are mega rich.
Yeah, that's where all the memes come from of like a shack being worth like $500,000 or something like that. Like just any amount of property is worth that much. But
these dumbasses.
I feel like that's just a very hilly place to live. Like seeing the actual like roads and how steep some of them are is that'd be. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
Right.
But man, I love how 3PO always likes to like throw a hand on top of R2 to set it there.
But that's the homie.
Man, yeah, this Ewok is having the time of his life here. The first one to go like faster than 50 miles an hour, maybe even like
first Ewok ever.
This is the fastest Ewok of their existence, and I don't know.
Bro's cold with it.
Yeah, and
this is a classic.
Drove away some troopers. Yeah, this. I love that this had to be like Han had
Captain
to tell
Rex
them
there around the corner.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the guy with the big beard. It's not actually Captain Rex, but people have, since we know he's at the Battle of Endor, have gone back and retroactively been like,
he's got to be there
Rex.
somewhere. Okay, yeah, he's there somewhere. But I love that. Before, does Han tell them like, "Hey, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder. He's gonna run around."
Yeah, right.
I think that's just hilarious. The little pre-planning that might have had to been done, but
the set design, man, like that's
the Emperor's room right there. I don't know, that's just if you're an emperor of is it just a galaxy?
The galactic empire. So as far as is known, because there are the unknown regions, but they've got everything up to there.
I guess we're going to a different galaxy now in Ahsoka season 2 when we get there, but man,
it was actually confirmed that they won't be shooting Ahsoka season 2 until late 2025 or mid 2025.
Not even shooting it?
Yeah, so we won't be getting a season 2 for an 8-episode series until 3 years after the first season. So that's just lovely.
Eesh.
And all for it to look like shit. Love the Emperor's design. Obviously, we all love the Emperor's design, but God, is he just so fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Man, eyes are yellow constantly, 100% of the time, which I don't know if, lore now, it feels like it's only during times of extreme hate that because like are well, the Inquisitor's eyes are always yellow. I guess
Hmm.
100% of the time, right? They don't change. I feel like I guess Anakin
There
they
comes a point
did
when Anakin's eyes become yellow, and it's whenever he's burning, and I think they've just been yellow ever since. Is kind of
okay,
how I look at
but
it.
because he goes to Mustafar and he kills all the remaining Trade Federation or
Yeah,
whatever
and his
people that
eyes
are still
flare
there.
yellow, but they come
They do
back,
go
and they
yellow. They do go,
yeah.
yeah. So I wondered if in lore it feels like that, even if you are dark side, like Chimere, I guess, Well, I
Hmm.
don't know. We've never actually seen
I
him
think
go
there's a
full ink. I
type
feel like he has
of
a different thing there actually with
I think
him.
there's a
But
type of giving yourself over to the dark side that's different than what we've seen. Like I feel like Palpatine just is the dark side, so that's why
mm-hmm.
he looks like that, you know. I think Plagueis would
Permanently.
probably have a
Yeah.
similar thing going on. I
Yeah, we
imagine
did
Vader does at this point too. You know, we just can't see his eyes. But
when Plagueis peeped around
Maul
the
always
corner.
had
I
yellow eyes.
did he have yellow eyes? Did Plagueis?
Hmm.
Okay, he did. Okay. Man, I don't know why. Like, what a perfect color. Like, I feel like red eyes would be the immediate most evil to me. Like, it just seems the most evil, but I don't know why yellow just works
Yellow
so
makes it
well.
seem infecting, like it's like a sickness, not
Mm.
necessarily pure evil. You know, like I mean, it is pure evil, but like it's infecting them more than it is possessing them. I guess is kind of how I look at it. Like they're just so piercing and
Ugh,
disgusting. Um,
man. Yeah,
and
he's
Ian McDiarmid playing that just so perfectly. What a perfect stroke of luck that he ends up being the perfect age to play Palpatine in the prequels 20 years later.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean that is what is that the only constant throughout every no, that's not
yeah,
true.
Anthony Daniels, as 3PO.
Okay. Because I was,
The
well, yeah, no, I guess it would
pretty
be.
sure Peter Mayhew, he pops up in Revenge of the Sith as Chewbacca, and he is at the beginning of. I
Okay.
think that he splits time with the new actor in The Force Awakens, if I recall correctly. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Ian McDiarmid's the only actor who appears on screen, not in
In.
a costume, or I mean, he is in a costume, but not with his face hidden,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. That I'm
Wow.
pretty sure he's the only one who pops up in every single one.
That's crazy. The actual emperor. I mean, like, for
Right.
real. Like, the dude, you can't replace him. I don't know. That's kind of, that's crazy. Um, but, huh. I've never thought about, like, the constants all throughout, if there even have been any.
Yeah, I think it's
I
those
wonder.
three.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would be it. I can't remember if there would be any others. I mean, Warwick Davis, technically, since he was Wicket the Ewok, and then he pops up in a couple, but
Okay.
not as the same character.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the same
Yeah.
character, I think it's just those three. I think it's just Palpatine, 3PO, and Chewbacca. Um,
Hmm. Wow.
Maybe
That's a
Frank
crew.
Oz. Frank Oz as Yoda,
Yeah.
since he
In
pops up in The Last Jedi.
hmm.
But yeah, now this is always. I've always loved that shot too. Him looking out the window and seeing the destruction, the trap.
Mm-hmm. I do love in the sequels how they come back to this, but they give a big magnifying glass to show everything
Yeah,
that's
right.
going on. That's sick, and
Yeah, The Last Jedi
and
really had that shit on it.
man, in the I don't know why the only thing I could think of is turning the lightsaber to the side and igniting it, just
Hmm.
like and then sliding like that moment, like it didn't really dawn on me how epic that moment really was. Like how cool of an idea that is. I
Oh,
wonder
dude.
if that was thought at all here, or if like it feels like that was so, I don't know, just original there that it's like like
That's one of
it
my
couldn't have
favorite.
been
That's
thought of
probably
here.
my favorite. That's one of my favorite scenes in the entire fucking saga. So I'm so excited to do the sequel trilogy eventually in a live commentary format. But
I know. That's why I can't wait to get there. I
know.
I have been like wanting the sequels so bad. The only one I have on physical is The Last Jedi. So I'll have to watch the other
if
ones.
there's anyone that's worth
on
it
streaming. So yeah, I guess that's I'm kind of okay with it. I guess there. I eventually.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, but there's a whole other level for The Last Jedi.
Yeah, not looking good here.
No, not ideal situationally.
Palpatine, I guess does help to know everything. Man, the God, on this
3PO being a real one.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's a lot of troops just for one protocol droid. I mean, I guess they have a lot still over there to keep everyone else still, but
these
enter.
pimps.
Yup.
God, I love the big galactic machine versus the natural indigenous peoples. That just rules, man.
It works every time, no matter the movie, no matter the medium. I don't know, no matter anything. It's a story that'll work forever.
And Star Wars does it just so perfectly.
Man, and it is nicer, like they're using kind of weapons and stuff, but like in other times, like in future Star Wars, when it's just the animals, like in or like someone connects with them through like in Rebels, someone connect, like it's purely the animals. I don't know. It's just
when they, I mean, like we were talking about The Last Jedi, the Fathiers and on Canto Bight and the horses that storm on The Rise of Skywalker. Like that's the cool shit. I love that.
They get their own little payback, for little bit of payback, and then their freedom as well. But then it's a mutual, that I don't know. Both people were helped. It just it's all around heartwarming. It's
God, that's so pimp. I love that. Him dropping rocks from the sky.
Yeah,
Chewbacca gets to do a Tarzan yell eventually, which is just cool. Like that's
man. I mean, doesn't the rocks don't do much against the big walkers, but just the troopers, it'll knock them out. They'll give them a concussion. Yeah, that'll do some damage there.
This is a classic right here.
I love that they do show that they don't always win. It's not like everything's always gonna go well or as planned, but they're trying. They're gonna try it. They're trying their little hearts out. And this poor little dude that doesn't. He's still learning how to throw, I guess, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Little Wicket.
Was that Wicket?
I think so.
That hit himself
I
in the
might be
face?
mistaken.
Oh, that's actually awesome. If it is him, that is. And who do you need? The one he could have hotwired it, I guess, right away. But man, you need him. And he doesn't let 3PO know. He's like, nope, gotta go. See you later. He never lets him know on the plan.
This is no time for heroics. Yeah, no, I love that, man.
Boom.
The Ewoks got shit set up.
They really had this all set up. I mean, man, maybe they just got this everywhere in the forest. They're ready,
Yeah, they're ready to protect themselves.
Or they're just this efficient, They're like the Ugnaughts of
yeah, right.
I don't know. They are workers. When put to work, they can just do it.
They go at it like that. Ooh, that person was serving fucking cunt in the cockpit. I don't know who that was.
There's one. I think it's. I don't know. The helmet does. If it's who I'm thinking of, he has a helmet that just really works well for his face structure. And maybe,
I think but I think they were also wearing makeup, like eyeshadow. It looked like David Bowie. I was like, okay.
We'll have to get back with him. I think I hope it's not like the shot of him just blowing up, because I know a few of them drop.
Yeah, right.
Here.
Yeah, a few of them. We'll have those.
Maybe we get another look at him, but I think I do know the one you're talking about. I don't know, a weird helmet shape, if I remember correctly. But if we're talking about the same person, but yeah, we have something special planned for them.
I'm an
So
Imperial. I'm a fucking dickhead.
I guess yeah, they're. So where were they? Where were they just at? So like Death Star's
They
there.
were
That's the
on
actual battle.
they were
They're
on
just
ships. Well, that's what Lando was just commenting on. He was like, only the fighters are attacking, not not the Star Destroyers. And because they're on the Star Destroyers could be firing their weapons, but they're not going to because the Death Star has its weapons
okay.
on.
Okay.
Its weapons are fully operational. That thing's operational. Yeah, no,
like,
I
oh
love.
shit. Yeah, that's you know, it I don't know, it's only been
That's a trap.
shown to blow up a planet, but now it's just like it's actually accurate enough to just hit a ship too. Like that I don't know, that is kind of a
That's
jarring
dangerous.
like, oh damn, it can actually be used for anything, not just I mean, you'd rather it be used on a ship than a planet, I think. But I mean,
for
it's just
sure.
bad overall.
It just makes it that much more dangerous for sure.
It's just man, yeah, that just a thing that should not exist. You know, it just
No.
the thing should just not be a thing.
Yeah, weapons of
ever.
mass destruction, not ideal.
Yeah, and I guess one day we'll eventually get there as humanity. We'll be able to build it, but man, I hope we don't. I hope at that point we're beyond that. But
Poor little R2.
yeah, gets blasted here. It's his first, you know, real. I don't know. This doesn't really do it to him. You know, he seems kind of okay for a little bit, but then he thinks
He's
about
like,
it. He's like, nope, nope. Actually, no. I'm actually fucked.
I like to think that he's just panicking. It's not really a reaction from the blaster bolt. He's just going fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's actually just being over dramatic. He's like,
Yeah.
I am metal and blaster bullets actually really don't do much. Like, I don't know, maybe that did actually nothing to him, and he's just like, you have to be the hero, Han.
Yeah.
You know, no, I shouldn't do it. But
No.
no, yes, no, we're here. Not this part.
Oh, God.
No, it's so much worse than the Rancor guy. It's like,
Oh.
no, because
The way
then he just sits
next to
down.
him. Dude.
And then no. Oh man, it's just so bad. And he's just
That
sitting
poor
there the
little
rest of the
guy,
battle. You know, he's
man.
not moving. You know, he's not.
Nah,
he's out.
he's
He's out of
accepted
the
his
battle
fate.
too. Man, that's yeah. I want to see that pilot again.
Longer than we will against the Death Star. Yeah, I don't know that they show them. I don't know that they show them again.
I think they do. I don't know.
Not
Okay.
them, not him.
Okay. Well, there is one blowing up. So man, he might be going here if we see him.
Is that the helmet you were talking about? That wasn't who I was talking about. That was a
there's
weird helmet,
it's
though.
an
I dug
open
that.
chin. I think we
Yeah,
see the
okay.
guy's chin. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not that guy.
Endor moon will not survive.
I mean, I love how Luke's really thinking about it. You know, like
Right.
he's like
Well,
looking
he's gonna
at the
do it.
saber. He's like,
And he would, you know? He's like,
yeah,
yep.
man, he's like, I know.
Well, and then this is
exactly
another
what you want me to
example
do.
of, you know, like Palpatine is obviously pleased whenever Vader stops it, but is there an element that Vader is stopping it so that he doesn't become like him? You know, like there's this whole other layer to it when it comes to Vader's thought process at this point in the movie that I really, really dig. Where I'm like, I don't know if he's doing things to protect Luke or if he's doing things in spite of Luke, and I think there's just a great combination of stuff there.
Man, it's almost like with the lore of the Sith now. I guess I don't know how it works and if this is established, but it feels like that striking down your master, or like it's just part of the process, but like they live on still. You know, like has Force Ghosts and like the light live on and they give advice, whatever. It's almost like in the Sith version, it's like they still have control of whoever is just the two kind of Sith at the time. So even if you strike down a previous master, they still, I don't know, maybe they do lose all control and it is just new, you know, the new cycle, and that's why they do it. But it feels that like Palpatine is so confident that even if Vader doesn't block it there, then he's actually fine dying too. Like I don't know if that is true, or like if that is how it works on the dark side, or not. But he has contingency plans. It feels like Palpatine. I guess.
Well, we know that
So-
for a fact at this point now too. You know.
Oh yeah.
He's
Good
like,
old
all right, whenever
transfer
I'm
of
about to die,
consciousness.
I'll just go ahead and zoom on over.
Zoop.
My consciousness
Yep.
is heading to Exegol, baby.
And I would, I guess when we get there, whenever he does fall in the pit, I used to always think that him falling, like the Emperor falling down in this pit, is like what kind of started the explosion of the Death Star. And like it's like really because like what radiates upwards, like the energy, like I don't know, the effects of the what comes up from the pit are really interesting. And like I feel like George is kind of going for like something. It's not, I don't know, it's not just an explosion of a reactor. Like there is like a force element happening there, like a release of something. And I don't
That was so
I guess
cold.
I haven't really. Ooh, man, to be clotheslined like that. Yeah, that would, man.
It's instant death.
This, man, to go like, yeah, I don't know, go in some of the, I'd rather go by like a blaster bolt.
This one's always been my favorite. Bam. That's so cool. That's so cool. They're just getting on a fucking roll here. This is cold.
They're just having
I love
fun
all
now.
of these.
Yeah, they're just having fun. They're like, now they're showing off. They're like, we've
Gosh,
been
and the stop
waiting for
motion on
this
that
for
is just
so
so
long.
impressive.
Man, yeah, that is actually crazy. Nope, not quite. That is crazy to think that those walkers are stop motion though, and that I don't know. It is the whole shot stop motion, or is it like the logs coming?
I can't. I don't know.
I guess
how
maybe
they
that
do
was
it, man.
was different, but man, like the blend of
I know.
of all
God.
of it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right. And well, we're outgunned here, but good thing it's our boy. Man, R2 is actually still, all of his panels are open still, and like he actually
bro's
is still
just chilling.
short-circuited.
This is actually one of the coldest lightsaber battles there is too.
Luke is pissed. I mean, he's
going
fighting
for it.
Yeah, man, he's.
Use your aggressive feelings, boy.
It's in, like, obviously the choreography. It's not like on the
prequels are
prequel
different.
level, or
yeah.
I will loop Acolyte level in there. I feel like that it's like I'm comfortable saying the Acolyte has some of the best lightsaber choreography
God,
ever.
I love his shoulder pad peeking out from behind the cape there. Like that's just so cool.
Ooh, yeah, it is only on one side there, but it's the meaning of this. Like it doesn't even matter if they're fighting and it looks bad. Like it doesn't matter. It's why the fight is taking place, and it is the slower moments of the fight that are better than the parts where they're not talking and just swinging.
Well, it's also the most reminiscent of a samurai film for me. Just everything, because it's not so. I mean, the prequels and Acolyte and stuff like that's a whole other level, But like, there is just such a concise consideration of every movement that I think came with samurai films, and I really, really appreciate it. I love just this whole battle, the way that it ultimately evolves into him being like, you know what, fine, I'll kill you and I'll find your sister. You have a sister.
Yep. And that really gets him going then. He's like, oh shit, now I kind of have to lock in. He's like doing it out of protection and out of like, damn it, I can't believe I let that slip, Man. No, not that helmet. Definitely, no, we've
none of
seen
these
that guy.
guys. None of these guys.
Mm-mm.
I will say, I love this space battle. This is one of the cooler space battles they have across the. I would say that Rogue One and Revenge of the Sith have the coolest space battles.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is nice. I guess. Ooh, Rogue One. Now that I'm.
Where like the hammerhead crashes into
yeah.
a destroyer, and the destroyer crashes into the ring that's got the shield on the planet. Like that whole, like that's just so cool.
Thinking Holdo maneuver is pretty sick.
Holdo maneuver might be top one, but yeah, like, and that's what's cool about The Last Jedi is that the space battle isn't really a battle. It's just like running for their lives and trying their best. It's cool. I like that sequence too. I love the way the sequence looks. I've always loved the way this.
Yeah,
sequence looks.
this does actually look nice. Yeah, I can't really complain much here. This is looking. I don't know. It's like, I guess it's intercut with a lot, but like whenever we get
it's
to
the most,
I guess, upstairs, throwing him down the pit.
It reminds me the most of a horror movie in aesthetics than anything prior with Vader. Like our final girl there in Luke Skywalker, with the hiding behind something with the light shining on his face, the fear kind of overtaking him. It's good. It's good, man.
He is just like it. This is, the equivalent of him just being in a closet, like Halloween, like Michael Myers, like in
that's
the
exactly
light
what I
coming
was
through.
just thinking of.
Yeah, like coming through there, and it's just like he doesn't. Oh man, I don't know. This whole
Vader's eyes are like silhouetted in his mask at some shots. It's really, really strong. Never.
Man, yeah. Now he's on 10. Yeah, well, I mean, he's swinging now.
He's just swinging, bro.
I mean, he doesn't even care. I mean, yeah, he's full passion.
This right here, man. This is probably my favorite shot. Just that down the hall a little bit, like that's just good. That's just good stuff. And this overhead's really strong. Like there's just a couple really good moments during this fight.
Batman. Yeah, just little payback there. Now we're even. All right. Had to do that, at least.
I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending.
If you could have your honeymoon end, absolute perfect ending, I don't know. I don't know if I would change anything. I think I guess Vader living, if he could live somehow, or if Anakin could live.
I think it avoids all sorts of conflict that would bog the story down in real bizarre specifics. Like, how do you charge Anakin with the war crimes? He's just going to jail for the rest of his life? Does he face the death penalty? Do they kill him as a sign that the Empire's done anyway? So like, it's just like him dying here is just a move.
Yeah, I mean, he does even say, he's like, you can't, whether he's saying like, I am dying literally in these moments, like you can't stop my death now. But I think he's saying like, in this moment you can't stop it, but also it's time for me to go,
dude. And this is Mark Hamill might have to be my performance of the movie for this one. Just the the resolve he strikes there at the end with the "I am a Jedi like my father before me." Just so cold. Just so cold.
I expected to tear up a little bit more during my watch yesterday. Surprisingly, not as many tears. I don't know. It didn't really give me a whole lot of time. But that line definitely does.
It's strong. It's strong. This movie doesn't get me as much as it used to. The shot that does get me typically is the very end, and I do enjoy this sequence whenever Luke's begging for his father's help and all that.
Oh, this is the ultimate. I don't know what the Emperor dying. I don't know is just nothing can be better. I mean, the entire galaxy literally just throws
rejoicing.
A party everywhere. It's a party. It is like we are free. And yeah, it's man. I really want to know the what if Luke actually decides just to leave, and not confront Vader here.
You have paid the price for your lack of vision.
Man, yeah. Vader really, he does let it go on too. Palpatine even does say now. you will die. Does
Yeah.
Vader know it's not instant? And he does still have some time to work with, or like is he still
There's
thinking,
some really
of his
incredible
options?
physical
But
performance there.
yeah,
With
because
the looking
nothing.
back and forth and no lines or anything, but just kind of looking and being like, "Oh God, I don't know how I feel about this."
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, you
obviously
hear him
James Earl
screaming no
Jones's whole,
already.
yeah.
It's
Well, and
uh
that's my favorite idea for when Vader officially kicks in and when Vader officially dies is the sandwich of no's. It ends whenever he yells no as he tosses Palpatine down, and it started when he yells no after he learns Padme died.
mm, oh, those
Yeah,
sandwich of no's.
yeah.
Okay, that's
That's when
nice.
it started, and this is where it ends. And I think that
Uh
that's a great little poetry, the poetry rhymes moments that George Lucas
mm-hmm.
loved.
Okay, now this little, I don't know, like, is that his,
Essence.
is that just or gas escaping? It is just from the
Yeah,
explosion, whatever, or is that a
I
4C
feel like we could
element?
retroactively call it a 4C element. I don't think that was the intention at the time or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Okay.
think retroactively we could probably say something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he is in his other. He did just dip out there, Professor X. Transfer of conscious right there, right.
Yeah,
That.
right.
So what, he's in the decrepit body
Ooh.
right now? Is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but man,
God, this is fucking cool. Like,
oh yeah, man, is it? I always wondered, like, whenever they're actually flying through here, like, is it just so big that you can fly, or to do maintenance and stuff, do they actually fly?
they
Like,
probably actually fly ships in there to
yeah,
do maintenance,
it's just they
which I
usually don't
hadn't
go this
considered.
fast, I guess,
Yeah,
and not for war, but but man, I mean, the scale, like, is this just a water pipe? Is this just like some
right.
sewage pipes that we're
Yeah,
seeing, and like,
how much are
th-
we scaling something up here?
man, it's crazy to think that
For
this
some
is.
reason, it's making me want to watch Titanic.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, the little orange pipe. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does. It
yeah.
is kind of screaming
Like the
Titanic a little bit.
bowels at the end of
Yeah,
Titanic, whenever the
yeah.
water's rising and stuff. I don't know why I'm getting those vibes. Obviously, this ends much more happy. But
Yeah, yeah. You do the Titanic. You don't see want to go, but the Death Star V2
Death
you
Star
do
2,
see want to
you're ready
go.
to let it
Yeah,
go.
you
Yeah.
do see one of that go bye bye. But um, man, I don't really like to think about like the fact that.
Okay. That was the guy.
Oh, damn it! I missed it.
You did not get a, well, you
No.
didn't get a good look at his face anyway, not the look that I wanted to get.
Okay.
I could tell it was the guy, but there was nothing that was really pointing me in
Hey,
that
at least
direction.
he
But
went
he
out
does the
taking
suicide
down a
bomb there.
whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not even a destroyer. That's like a dreadnought.
That's a
there,
dreadnought.
right?
Yeah.
That. So I mean, he really got his worth there. So at least it was that guy, though. We can know it
I
was
love to
him.
imagine these Imperial officers running by like, what the fuck's going
Yeah,
on there? You know,
yeah.
like,
Like, wait, huh?
is that Darth Vader?
It can't be, right? They're like, I mean, but who else dresses up? Like, no one
Oh
else can dress
man.
up like that.
And I
But
love the destroyed mask.
mm,
The cheek there being all chipped and the helmet being sort of melted on
uh,
top. Like that's just good looking stuff, man. This is my line, by the way. Just let me
yeah.
look on you with my own eyes. Like, yeah, that's the stuff right there. Because I've never, we've done a lot of Star Wars discussion. I'm not like just the biggest fan of Anakin or anything, but it's really fulfilling to see him come back, and this moment to conclude his arc just really, really works.
Mhm. Man, yeah. At least he realizes that he doesn't really get to say it, but he does. Like, there is no place for him at all. Now, like this, it is nice that he kind of has his own little redemption, but it's more of like he's now saying, like, no, you're right, like, Luke, like, it's for you. This, it's not like I feel redeemed. It's like, no, you should feel redeemed yourself. Like, you should feel
Mm.
fulfilled because you were right, and
Right.
he can't really say
You
much
already
else.
have, Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing else. I don't know. You can't really. Sorry. Go tell
Tell
Leia
your
sorry I
sister
blew up
you
her
were
home
right about
planet.
me.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah, and I guess it was Tarkin, I guess, but kind of looped in.
And
All that there.
that's one of the more compelling things about material later on, especially books. Like I mentioned Star Wars Bloodlines earlier. One of the best things about that book is Leia working through this relationship and never forgiving him. You know, like she doesn't have the same moment that Luke does here. She doesn't have the same distant relationship that culminates being up close. Like she knows Vader because she knows how fucking awful Vader is, and then she learns he's her father. Whereas Luke just kind of meets him, fights him a couple times, and he's like, "I'm your dad," and you're like, "Oh shit," you know, like that's just kind of, you know, very different relationship there.
Man, ooh, that's just a cool room, a cool
Yeah, it
design
is.
that they had to come up with there.
The reactor core. That's
what
cold.
would a reactor core look like in the middle of a big Death Star? Because we just saw the bullets go down a long shaft. You know, they didn't get to blow up the thing. I think
It shows you how big the Death Star 2 is. You know,
boosh.
comparatively,
and
and actually much more vulnerable.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was they thought no way they can even get through the shield, so no even reason to protect the thing. I don't know if that's the thought process. They were the Empire at that point. I don't know, I don't know. It feels like yeah, we built the first one, they blew it up, but now we'll throw a shield around this one and we'll call it good. But I guess it was just further construction of it. But
yeah. I love Nine Numb's little stupid laugh there. It's one of my favorite little. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. That's probably the best firework you could ever see go off.
Yeah. Yes.
That's 4th of July is one thing. I don't know. It's whatever. But that would be a 4th of July or a fireworks show I would never forget.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
would be the. I'm sure he wasn't on that thing.
Yeah,
you know? The way he looks back, like
Yeah, everyone's celebrating, like screaming in joy, and like, oh, wait a minute, and well, I'm glad
what's also
you
cool is that
know.
Han here is ready to let her go, which is also cool. You know, like he doesn't want to, but he's like, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, I won't get in your way. It's fine. Leia just being to be like, oh, oh man. He's like, no. But I mean, yeah, you don't know until you know.
He's my brother. And him being like,
oh.
He's like, oh shit, bet.
Yeah, like the first kiss, you kissed your brother. You kissed your bro. I don't know. But that means you can't love him, and that means you can only love me, and that means
and I love that Wicket's cheering for them. That's just so cute.
Oh man, yeah. This it just. How can you? I don't know. The Empire is defeated. The Death Star blown up. Everyone's partying.
God, yeah. This is the shit. This is the best ending, man. It works. Get the funeral for Vader here. God damn.
Yeah, I guess one little downbeat moment, I guess. Everyone
but it's still triumphant. It's still good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice to. Some people were like, "Why'd you put the helmet back on him and not, burn him in his natural body, whatever?"
No, you gotta burn. You burn Vader with it, like that. You say goodbye to it all.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I want to see, a human face melting as well. I think the mask just makes it a little bit more comfortable. It's like a closed or open casket.
Yeah,
for a Jedi
symbolism
wedding.
There's enough.
But here we go. Now everyone gets to party.
Bespin getting their groove on.
Mm.
You love to see it. Tatooine.
I wonder how does the news track? Where did people hear about it first?
We saw free.
I wonder how they hear the news that Death Star is blown up, and that the Emperor is dead. Like that's
You
like
see
the
a
Emperor
a
is dead.
stormtrooper getting like ripped apart at the bottom of the screen here.
Really?
Right there, you see
Oh
him?
my god! Oh my god! What? That
They
is
tore down a
actually
statue of
awesome.
Palpatine.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
known
like
the
no, that's
statue
just
part. Yeah, but the
yeah.
stormtrooper part. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
I've
like
never seen
people
that.
are rising up, bro. It's incredible.
Oh man. Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
Ah,
song.
man.
Oh
Oh, I
man.
go
Wow.
back to this a lot when I'm listening to the soundtracks.
Yeah. This. It's a good. It just makes you feel it. You know exactly what just happened. You know, like everything is
Hmm.
fine. Everything's great. You know, nothing
Everything's
sucks
good.
until like when does I guess Kylo falls? You know, we got some
Probably
time. He
about
still has to
20
be
years from
born.
now.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
like
15
it's
to
like
20 years from now.
20 years of pretty good peace. You know,
Yeah.
like I guess Snoke
Obviously,
is
we've got the
yeah, and
whole,
Palp's still there, but
Mandalorian storyline and all that, like
mm,
whatever happens there.
oh,
Imperial
true.
remnants and such.
Yeah.
Nine It's so funny that he's actually like the height of other people. He looks like he'd be so much smaller. Um,
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I guess this just feels
yeah,
nice, even though
it
this
does.
is that's not in the original movie. Hayden deserves to be there. That is, um, I don't know. That's just it is a weird. I don't know, a gray area, I guess. Because what was originally there? Was it
It was Sebastian Shaw. It was the
okay?
gentleman who was acting as Vader in that
Yeah,
last moment,
I guess duh.
without scars
Yeah,
and everything.
I get yeah. Because who would the audience has to they would they'd have no clue. I just didn't know if they
Yeah.
might have gotten like a young stand-in to be like he
No,
does
no,
like the
it
age
was
is
just
preserved,
Sebastian
sort of
Shaw.
thing. But okay.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I like that moment for Obi-Wan looking at him
mm,
and kind of seeing him
uh,
like that again. I think that that's cool.
yep.
Although I think it would have been cool. I think there's an element that would have been cooler and probably was cooler in Obi-Wan looking and seeing him as a grown man. Um,
Ooh.
and not, like, there's something
Yeah.
there that I think could have been pretty cool. Um,
Works kind of both
but
ways. For the
it does.
prequel baby, for
There's,
me, it's nice that Hayden's there and it's a
yeah, it is. It
young
is
version,
nice.
but man, yeah.
Yep, and there she goes. That last shot's always one of my favorites too. The whole family there, it just hits hard for me.
Mm,
But that concludes our live commentaries of the Star Wars original trilogy.
mm-hmm.
This movie, man, it's very special to me. It's very special to me, and I like to imagine the world where David Lynch actually got to make this movie. It's a fun little what if.
Ah.
Also, he ended up making Dune in 1984, but he was
Yeah.
offered the spot to do Return of the Jedi.
God dang it. A non-George yes man would have been nice to
Yeah, but
see
that was the
what.
thing, is that like that's what George was looking for, and David Lynch was like, yeah, that's not me. Um, I'm not
Yep.
going to do whatever you want. I'm going to do whatever I want, which is ironic considering Dune ended up being something that somebody else wanted. But regardless, I love this movie. I love these movies. I'm so glad we did the original trilogy to kind of get the sentimentalists rolling, and I
Hmm.
cannot wait for the future of this podcast. Next week, we know you might have been listening the last couple of weeks, like, oh, we know you have the Halloween project coming up. Da 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 da. It's going to be over the next several weeks. No, not true anymore. Now you get our special Halloween bag o' treats. On October 31st, Halloween, we have 5 episodes coming your way. 5 episodes, all in the same day, all classic horror movies. We've got Psycho, Night of the Living Dead, Evil Dead, The Exorcist, and John Carpenter's Halloween, as we mentioned earlier in this movie, or in this episode. So, all that coming to you October 31st on Halloween. And then we are doing some more Harrison Ford. It's time for the Indiana Jones franchise in November. Very, very excited for that, and we'll round out the year with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But yeah, when it comes to the prequels, I think we agreed that May 2025 is kind of what we're eyeing for the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy live commentaries. So, you got that to look forward to. At least soft planning there. But that's a could be, could not be, don't know yet, probably. So you got that to look forward to. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about this one. You got any last parting thoughts with the original trilogy here?
I don't think so. I don't know. I was trying to think of something clever to say at the end to kind of cap it off, but we still got the sequels to go to, and the prequels. We still have a lot more to go to. There's a lot more.
We got 6 whole fucking movies we still got. We're chilling. We are big chilling. But yeah, then with that, we will go ahead as these credits roll and conclude this episode of The Cinementalists. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, I am a Jedi, like my father before me.